Happy Easter. You ever wake up and your mind just goes to a level that you've never experienced in your entire life and you don't even know how you get there? Well, I can tell you, it's unbelievable. Once I have totally got mind control, got all those demons out of my body and out of my life, what my brain is capable of, and so is yours. It is unreal what explodes out of my brain. That's all positive, nothing negative. But one positive thing about a negative charge for somebody like me is when you wake up at, it's now 4:53. I've been up for about, I don't know. It's been a while. I think I woke up at 1. I don't know. I'm not sure. But when you wake up and you really understand the magnitude of God's word in your life, and you believe his words, it's unbelievable what goes on in your brain that's positive. So this negative charge that I knew my body needed, because at this hour of the morning, it's going like this, and I'm ready to just run a marathon, even though my head is not in good shape. Nor is my neck. Oh, it's so sore from acupuncture. And, well, yeah, acupuncture and the chiropractor. Yeah, I got to do another round of that this week, I can tell. But thank God the chiropractor thinks only a couple whacks and I'll be back in order. He says, "You are bulletproof." He said, "I have never met a person like you in my life." He said, "Nothing phases you." I said, "It's life." I said, "But right now," he goes, "you are on a crusade." He said, "It's unreal. I've never seen anything like it." He says, "You don't need much treatment." He said, "You let me know this week and call, text me and you can come in. You go after him." So I want to be on a mission to make sure that every house in America has Bible. That's what happens when you let those demons out of your brain. All those voices that are talking to you, telling you stop, you tell them to shut the heck up. Or whatever you do, off with your heads. I don't care what it is. But if you get a thought in your head that's negatively charged, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to go and diffuse that flame right this minute. Right this very second. You want to talk about mental health? That's all those voices. All those demons out there trying to take over your life. Free your mind, and the rest will follow. No joke about that song. It is unreal what my brain can come up with. What I have envisioned for this resort is off the charts. I can't even digest it. And and Mike, the maintenance man with Deputy Dog, there is no doubt in my mind he's going to help me execute this. He's a good old boy from Louisiana. Are you flipping kidding me? I have hit the jackpot. What a reward. And today, it's my Coco Cabana from my room. I have my Coco Cabana sign up in my room here at the resort. And it's overlooking the pool. So today, the Coco Cabana is having its first, the Coco Cabana and Heaven's Treasure Ministries and Silence No More. And of course, Nat 333. Not sure I'm going to take the girls in with me because that's too much when I'm doing that. Plus, it's going to be indoors. They have an area up front. It's not real huge, but we're going to do tablecloths and set up the meal. I mean, what better way to use up this blood money than to feed the staff and any of the guests here? And if there's anybody out on the streets, I have a feeling they didn't even have enough fridge space. This resort has been my family ever since the moment I arrived, even before that, even before I met Jasmine. I couldn't even call to book a hotel because I was just so heartbroken that someone that I loved with my entire whole heart could throw me out for garbage. Even though he made a promise to my father on his deathbed, I have our girl. Leaves me and my beloved Ronnie's homeless without any money because he closed the bank account and shut it down. Like I had did something wrong to him, and I did nothing wrong but love him with my whole heart. And he just tried to take it all from me. Well, guess what? He's saving my life. And look what he's done for me. Look what he's done for me. He has brought me to this beautiful place. And it's crazy when I'm talking to Mike from Louisiana. And I describe it. He goes, it's just so raw and it's so natural. I said, it's a diamond in the rough. He goes, oh my gosh, it's perfect. It's a perfect description of it. I said, well, it is. It is. And I said, what I envision, he goes, oh, I know. He goes, they can't be changing this. They can't. No. I said, no, they cannot. No, no. So the girls are so happy here and all the guests love them. It is so fun to meet all the different people from all different walks of life. What a gift. And what you can learn. It's unreal what you can learn from people with factual just information, just like those two sisters from England. Oh my gosh, are they darling. Just adorable. But them talking just about the humidity. And then I told them, watching the movie Holiday, and I've watched it, Lord only knows how many times. And that's a true statement. Although probably well, no, because we had videos before that. So CDs. Well, did I rent them? Yeah, so I rented them. So I guess we could be pretty accurate unless I watched it on the side or, something that wasn't tracked by our the people that have been watching us all along, studying us our whole lives like slaves. I mean, let's just be honest. What would you call it? Working for a living? How about living to work? You pick a profession that you like. Doesn't matter about the money. Take the money factor right out of the equation. What if everybody, what if we lived in a, what if we lived in a time where it wasn't about money? It was about love. It was about compassion. It was about helping that neighbor. What if you did that profession you loved, and and people gave things to you in return or did things for you in return? Barter like they used to do. you know Baked goods, people trade, and people would bring fruit or or clothing, or you could trade. I mean, think about all of the waste in the world right now. Look around. There's so much waste. And just watching some of the people's posts on Facebook about cleaning out the refrigerators and the graveyard. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you, I have had very little waste. Very little. Like, I'm almost disgusted with myself that I had any. But I I couldn't eat the fruit that I got from the market once I poured purified water in it. It turned rancid pretty quickly because it was so toxic. Um, so, it's kind of hard for me to say I wasted that. But I could not ingest that in my body. If it could not withstand the purified water test, there was no way it was going in my body. So you have to understand the magnitude of what I've done for this past year since Harley said no more tap water. Only way I'd have it is if I boiled it. All my fruits and vegetables were rinsed in purified water. The girls, that's all they drink is purified water and rainwater. Every once in a while, Harley will drink a spring water. But she sniffs them first. She smells something we can't. Of course they can. So she knew. And we were on well water prior to. So she's been drinking the water up north. So that groundwater's okay. Because we were there during COVID. Thus far, I think. I think the biggest thing is we're going to have to find the water supplies that are still good. And that's my own thoughts, but I'm thinking outside the box. But Aaron Brockovich can probably, I'm sure if we can team up with that and see what's going on there. But that's all we've had is purified water and organic. And most of the vegetables, everything is local. And it's huge. It is a huge difference. Food has so much taste. All those spices that I used up north, I barely used anything. Well, first of all, I was allergic to everything except for three: cayenne pepper, turmeric, and rosemary. Nothing else I could have for months. And I did everything I could to not have anything. And it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. But I had to get the poisons out of my body. So it was rough. But Dr. Herman was a godsend because I knew I had allergies when I was a kid. And I went to an allergist and they pricked my back. And I was like, oh, brother. I'm allergic to dogs, really? I've never been allergic to a dog in my life. And don't you dare tell me that I'm allergic to my dog. And apparently I'm not allergic to cats either, even though the test told me I was allergic to cats and dogs. See how man works? Plant that crap in your head. Well, I knew when I walked by a cat, my eyes swelled shut, I was in trouble. Well, the cat that I had, my eyes swelled shut overnight before 24 hours were up. But not anymore. I'm no longer allergic. I've been around multiple cats without a problem. So through my first test with Dr. Herman on this medical trip that I a year ago went on, I called it a medical seeking trip to Indiana because I had a fifth neurologist to see. Wow, was she a trip? She was from Harvard. And it really disgusted me with her. And it makes me understand now about what's happened to Harvard. Harvard isn't the Harvard it was built on. It was with Christian doctrines. And it's changed. Because I met with a Harvard doctor. And to be honest, she was worthless. Just like the rest. She had me do a horse and pony show, walk up and down her hall and do this, that, and the other to make me feel like she earned her title or what. I don't know. I don't even know. But I sat up on her table. And she says, I'm not going to put you through any of this. You have blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's exactly, I don't even know what it is because that's what it was to me. Blah, blah, blah. You're going to give me a title of something that I have. And, oh, we're going to give you 2 shots. Well, I needed something because I didn't have any THC in Indiana. So I needed something to get by for my head pain after the trip. Because I loaded up before I left. I had no choice. I had to. And I had no idea the flight was going to do this pressure gauge thing. I haven't been on a plane since that trip a year ago. But the next trip I want to do is I want to jump out of an airplane. And my buddy Mike said he'd do it with me. So I want to make that happen. He's been the bestest friend, even if he can be a non-retard. Love him to death. But it's unreal the clarity you get when you completely shed all of these extra voices. Those thoughts that pop in your head, now if they're good, you keep going with those. But if they're negative, you need to get rid of it. Because that's the war we're in right now. It's good against evil. And that evil is out in full force. And they're walking amongst everybody when they're going into hiding. You should see when I walk with these girls, most places people park to seize. But they don't hear. Everybody comes up and loves them. It's a whole different world here at this resort. I have all these ideas, and I'm like, I locked my keys, my 2 keys in here, and I'm like, what a reward from a little hiccup along the road to stopping talking to Mike and Deputy Dog Mickey, to getting a key, to getting here. It's just crazy how you surrender. When you fully surrender to him, how your life gets effortless. And you just want to flick out the nonsense. You don't even want it in your life anymore. You're like, you have got to be kidding me. You need to go now. It is the most freeing experience of my life, is to be in a place, and see, I'm getting dry and Harley's panting. So when Harley pants, we need water.